Hey y'all, it's March the 22nd, 2017. I thought I would shoot this video real quick while I got a second. And it's regarding healthcare and the idea of universal healthcare. Because I saw a graphic earlier that was, pro universal healthcare. I gotta start off the video by saying I'm not anti-universal healthcare at all, really. I'm not pro universal healthcare at all. In fact, I think that's the wrong question to be asking ourselves. All right, we're having the wrong debate. All right, what we're doing is we're complicating things that honestly are quite simple. Now, I want to explain something that's very simple. All right, you could have a nation in which every single person and family has access to a first aid kit full of band-aids and antiseptic. All right, you can have that. That, by definition, what I want to explain, is universal health care. That does qualify. You might say, well, that's poor health care. You want something more illustrious. Okay, I would agree. You probably would want something more illustrious than a first aid kit. But regardless of what you want or not, that is universal health care. That does qualify. All right. So the idea of us getting universal health care and stuff, it sounds all fantastical. A lot of socialists, a lot of communists, they love the idea. All right, and they're quick to point out all the different countries that have universal health care, and see, they'll be like, look at all these countries they have, and we don't have it, and that's messed up. All right, here's the thing. None of these countries are created equal necessarily. Some of these countries with the universal health care have much better quality than others of these countries who also have universal health care. So you got to understand there are variations, there are different degrees as to the quality of the health care in which that you're speaking. All right, the actual debate should be over the quality of the health care that you have access to. I'll explain this. There's people all over this country who got diabetes. I come from the world capital of diabetes. I promise you I do. And in fact, I live in a small town and it's chock full of diabetes. It really is. All right. I mean, what's the point is what I'm asking you, is because, like, you want everybody to have universal health care. You want everybody to pay the same price in taxes, all right, and just live by the honor system, and hopefully the government just goes ahead and takes care of us. I understand, and in a way that's a swell idea, all right, but what would be even more swell of an idea is if these people didn't all have diabetes. Right, because the thing is, lots of times you choose to have the diabetes, or you choose to be ignorant enough to give yourself the diabetes. I want to explain something about my body. Fully capable of getting diabetes. If I wanted it, I can eat all the candies and all the sort of different things that I want and just treat my body like a garbage can, and I'll get the diabetes just like everybody else. I choose not to. See, that there's a choice in there. It's called the free market. I choose not to have the diabetes. All right, I don't have health care. I don't want it necessarily. I think of mandatory taxes as robbery, and I don't like to be robbed. All right, I don't go to the doctor. All right, if I had to go to the doctor, you know what I'm saying, then I have to do it. But otherwise, I don't feel like going. I try to keep myself personally as healthy as I possibly can, right? Because I simply can't afford to pay all this money. All right, and then you got certain people like a Bernie Sanders who are definitely proponents of this universal health care. All right, definitely proponents. And what I want to explain, and I've been explaining for a long time, is that Bernie Sanders is fantastical in the way of his thinking. Is very unrealistic. Very unrealistic. In fact, shoot, I might leave a link if I can find it. I watched what's his name? Ted Cruz and Bernie Sanders have a debate a little while back in which Bernie Sanders told a lady to her face, she wants to shut down her business. Now, this lady was absolutely in what you would call the upper middle class. She was running 5 different Fantastic Sam's haircut places. All right, as you can tell, I really like haircuts. All right, I want to get them. I don't want to cut my own hair necessarily. I want someone else to do it. I want to pay them to do it. All right, this lady, she was explaining how she would like to expand, and I'm a fan of that. If you want to expand, go ahead and make more haircut places. That's the stuff I do like. She said, I want to expand, Bernie, but the thing is, with Obamacare, I can't expand because I have 48 employees. If I get 50 employees, well, it'll be mandated that I have to pay all sort of money out of my pocket that I don't have, right? It would bankrupt me, and I wouldn't have no business no more. So what should I do, Bernie? This is what the lady said. She's from out of Houston or some parts around Houston. She said, what should I do because I want to expand? This is America, and I don't want to go bankrupt. So what should I do? And Bernie said, shut down your business. He said, you shut down your business and you pay for those people's health care regardless of whether or not you can afford it. Go ahead and shut down your business. You know what I'm saying? So Bernie was basically, he was advocating in certain uncertain terms that she should shut down her business. She should give up on life and maybe go and get on welfare. All right, that was Bernie's solution. That's a lot of y'all savior out there. Told the lady point blank to her face, shut down your business. Go get on welfare. All right? And it's ridiculous, all right? The concern is not whether or not we should all have universal health care. The concern really should be for the quality of the health care that we are able to get as people. Can we all afford it? Because here's the thing, if we did have universal health care and there were certain people with all sort of money, just all sort of money that they didn't know what to do with, guess what? They're going to get better healthcare than you, period, all day. That's just how it is. Regardless of how you think or how I think, they would go get that healthcare. Why? Because they want that quality. Why? Because they got money to do it. All right, so our dollar bills don't go far enough to get us the quality healthcare that we need, and there's a problem by that. All right, in fact, a lot of these medical companies and producing all these ingredients and all these tools so that we can get quality healthcare, well, they're inflating the absolute shit out of the prices, and there ain't nothing that we can do about it. Why? Because certain powers to be make it so. All right, they make it so. They inflate the price so that people like me cannot afford it. That is the problem. The quality. I mean, the United States of America used to be known, used to be well known, used to be top notch for its quality in healthcare. It isn't today. We're actually falling behind. Meanwhile, people are debating about whether or not we should have universal healthcare. Meanwhile, there's all sort of people running around with diabetes and whatever else. There's a lot of people who don't choose to have their ailments. There's a lot of people who do, through their lifestyles, choose to have these ailments and stuff, and God bless them, do whatever they want to do. I personally, I don't have enough money to pay for my own health care. How am I going to pay for your health care, dude? You're swimming in diabetes. You know what I'm saying? The idea is that we want to take down the prices. That is the concern, is we want to take down the prices of the health care. Meanwhile, all these Bernie Sanders fans run around saying, oh, Donald Trump don't have no ideas. He don't have no ideas. He's not trying to help us when it comes to health care. Meanwhile, you're not listening. Donald Trump, whether or not he's a genuine, right? Whether or not he's genuine, he's put out ideas in order to take down the cost of health care. Right, so that more and more people can afford it. All right, there are ideas that we could implement to where that, yeah, it still does cost money. Yeah, you might have to pay for your own dang self and your own healthcare, but guess what? You'll have enough money to do that. All right, because money, loosely translated, equals labor. That's what it's supposed to mean. Money is supposed to equal labor. All right, just to put it simply, money, currency is supposed to equal labor. So when people go off on the welfare and don't do nothing with their lives, they're receiving money for nothing. Right? Meanwhile, there's people out here who do want to work, who do want to aspire to do great things and stuff, and want to go out every single day and work and get money. All right? And they want to be able to afford the health care that they choose. They don't want you to choose it. Right? Bernie Sanders is a great proponent of, okay, the government is screwing us over. They're taking our taxes and totally screwing us over. So what's the solution? Well, let's put more power in the hands of the government, and they'll fix the problem that they created. How about that? How about we take that outside? All right. Bernie Sanders loves it, all right? And he loves making a very simple situation absolutely complicated. He really is not a fan of the middle class. I mean, I don't know what he wants. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he just wants one single class all the way around. It's not going to happen. But he's not a fan of the middle class. He is a fan of shutting their businesses down. He is a fan of taxing them into oblivion, all right? And he might have won the whole election had he been put up against Donald Trump. I'm not going to deny that he might have won the election. He wasn't given a chance. Why Hillary done stole the election from him. And then she completely made a miserable failure out of herself in front of everybody. All right? Bernie Sanders never stood a chance. Right? And people are still listening to him while he rambles on with his retarded finger. And yes, he does have a retarded finger, as though he's writing a Christmas letter to Santa Claus in the air. Yeah, he does do that. All right? And he has no desire to have a firm grasp of reality. He does not want us to realize our dreams. He does want people to get everything for free, even though nothing's for free. He lives in a fantastical world. Right? And I acknowledge that there's countries all over the world that got universal health care. God bless them. Some of their universal health care I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, dude. I don't want to be anywhere around it. Right? I don't want to go to Turkey and have to deal with their health care. Turkey? No, I don't. All right? Stop holding them up like some sort of shining symbol of hope. All right? Yeah, you can go to China and get universal health care if you want. I don't want to do that. I live in America, all right? It's March the 22nd, 2017. I'll holler at y'all.